Okay, let's continue with the lecture. So sensory input, as I mentioned in the class, when the mosquito lands on our hand, how can we feel that? The reason is that under our skin we have something called receptor. Receptor, they are something called transducer. What is transducer or transduction? Is that receptor will convert one form of an energy into another form. So for example, when the mosquito land on our skin, our touch receptor will convert the kinetic energy or the mechanical vibration into something that we call electrical energy, which is the action potential, the electrical signal that's sent to our brain. So that's how we can sense the stimulus. The stimulus in this case will be the mosquito. Sensory adaptation, meaning that, let me give you an example. If I ask you this question, you will immediately say that, oh, you can feel it. But if I ask you, can you feel it now? Can you feel that? Can you feel that? I keep on asking you, can you feel that? When you're watching this video, you ask me, what are you asking? What is that? What is that? So, meaning that you do not feel it. Let me ask you one more thing. Can you feel it? Because then if you ask me, what are you asking? That means you cannot feel it, right? So my question is, can you feel that you are wearing clothes? Once I ask you this question, immediately you can feel that you are wearing clothes because you focus on that. But before I ask that question and ask you, can you feel it? You basically cannot feel that you are wearing clothes. This is what we call adaptation. Your body adapted to the clothes. Why? Because if your body does not adapt to wearing clothes, then your body will keep telling you that you are wearing clothes, you are wearing clothes, you are wearing clothes, you are wearing clothes. It is very exhausting for you to keep track of this sensation because you want to spend your extra energy to detect other more useful stimulus. For example, you may want to focus on studying. You may want to focus on textbook. Those are more useful way to spend your energy than focus on wearing clothes. So your body adapt to the stimulus that are not useful to you, but so that you have extra energy to focus on other more useful stimulus. So human body has 5 different types of senses. We group it into 5 different types of receptor. A pain receptor. Pain receptor usually it also sends the heat, the temperature, and or pressure chemical that damage or inflame the tissue. So the damage or inflamed tissue that will cause pain. Thermo Receptor detect the temperature, both external temperature changes and internal temperature changes inside our body. Mechanical receptor, they are stimulated by mechanical energy. Basically means the physical movement. One of the mechanical receptor we have in our body is the let me see, your cochlear hair cell. The cochlear hair cell, that means inside our ear. Why we can hear? Because we have some cell that has hair. When the sound wave go into our ear, it will vibrate certain membrane inside our ear, and the vibration of certain membrane, they will bend the hair on the hair cell. When the hair on the hair cell is bent by the vibration of the membrane, then this hair cell can trigger an action potential sent to our brain, and then our brain can interpret it as sound. chemoreceptor, the easiest chemoreceptor we can come up with is the chemoreceptor in our nose and chemoreceptor in our tongue. The reason is that when we taste food, let's say when you have a delicious dinner prepared, the smell from the dish is basically some tiny little airflow particle, which is when it dissolves into the mucus of our nose, then it can bind to the olfactory receptor in our nose. Then binding those molecules on the olfactory receptor will trigger an action potential to send to our brain and then our brain can interpret it as certain smell. And when we put the delicious dinner into our mouth, the chemical in the food, for example, salt, they have sodium ion. Sodium ion will bind to the receptor of the taste bud, and then it will trigger action potential of the trait from the taste bud, and then we can sense that it is salty. And then electromagnetic receptor. Electromagnetic receptor in our body, mainly we are talking about the photoreceptor in our eye, in the retina. So when a photon of the light hit the photoreceptor, the electromagnetic receptor, inside our photoreceptor we have something called retinal, which is a light-sensitive pigment molecule. When a photon hit it, it will cause conformational change. The conformational change of this pigment molecule called retinal will start to trigger action potential from the photoreceptor. So we can see that here, this is the skin. If you take anatomy, then you have to learn about different layer of the skin and all the name. But for this class, we only give you some very brief idea, brief labeling of the skin structure. So the outer part of our skin, that means the part that we can see right now on our body, is called epidermis. Epi means on the surface, dermis means skins. The middle layer, actually it is a little bit wrong, anatomically wrong. Should be from here until here. It's called dermis, the true skin. And then starting from here to the bottom, as soon as we see the subcutaneous fat, that means as soon as we see subcutaneous, we call it hypodermis. Hypo meaning that under the dermis. It is approximately here, and from here to here, we call it hypodermis. Oh, hypo means under or below. Epi means above. So we have 3 layers of skin. And then after this, we have a hair. This is the hair, and then you have some nerve ending at the hair follicle. It detects the touch of the body hair. And then we have this touch receptor. It sends a strong pressure. This is called Pacinian corpuscles. And then we have this light touch receptor, we call this Meissner corpuscles. The pain, this is called free nerve ending. Well, this receptive field demonstration, originally I do it in class, but we don't have time. Perhaps I will do it in the next class.